Alright guys, alright. The video's a little late today. To be honest, I had problems trying to find something to do a story on, and this decided to fall into my lap. So let's go through, let's talk about this, because apparently Trump is eyeing Florida Governor Ron DeSantis as a possible 2024 running mate. You want my answer on this? Hell yes! I love it. I love the idea. I do. I've always said for months now, Trump, DeSantis, 2024, bring it on, baby! Now, there's some questions being raised by the leftists to say that this is not even possible. Don't worry, it'll never happen. Like Trump never winning 2016 will never happen, right? But they're claiming that it'll be against the 12th Amendment and that it will never happen. But there's actually not entirely true. So we're going to talk about this, and then we're going to let you know exactly what would happen if Trump and DeSantis were to run as running mates. Is it possible? Short answer is yes. And is it and why? And what situation would it be a problem? And what situation would it work? And how they could get past it all. So let's just break this down, and then we'll jump into the legalese sort of thing, right? Trump eyeing Florida Governor Ron DeSantis as possible 2024 running mate. Former President Donald Trump revealed Monday that he would consider ditching Mike Pence for Florida's tough Governor Ron DeSantis as his 2024 presidential electoral running mate. Give me a sec, I have to go and do a happy dance. I want this, I really, really do. Sure, I would. I would certainly consider Ron, Trump, 74, told Fox Business, starting Stuart Vernity in a phone interview on Monday. It was the beginning of Ron. I was at the beginning of Ron, he said, the 42-year-old former Navy officer who graduated both Yale and Harvard Law School. So he's quite accomplished, actually. I was the first one to endorse him when he came out as a congressman. That a lot of people didn't know, and my endorsement helped him tremendously, Trump said. Maybe. Probably, yes. But I think Trump has been a little bit me about that, but we'll get this. Look, we all know Trump is a showman. We know Trump is me. We love him for it. But yeah. And I know him very well. He's a great guy, Trump added. Great, terrific. I love the idea, Trump and DeSantis. Still, he left the pick open, though without mentioning his former Vice President Pence, who last week admitted that he didn't see eye to eye with Trump over the January 6th Capitol, you know what. It's funny how they keep talking about that, don't they? They don't talk about the rioting that's happening in Portland right now. Which he called a dark day in history of the United States Capitol. I would certainly consider Ron, former President Donald Trump, said about a possible 24 running mate. Instead, Trump told Vanity there was other great people that have done great job with states whom he could pick as his Republican running mate. And you don't see that with Democrats. They keep their states closed and locked down, and the schools are closed. It's just absolutely outrageous how they get away with it, he said. Now, former Donald Trump made no mention of bringing back Mike Pence as his running mate. The 45th Commander-in-Chief did not correct Vernity when he said he was clear he was... the 45th Commander-in-Chief did not correct Vernity when he said it was clear he was consider running in 2024, which we know, to be honest, we know that's likely, okay? We know that Trump is giving it some serious thought. And then chuckled when pointing out that so many people are saying that I should run in 2022 for either House or Senate. I think that's highly unlikely, he said, seeming confirming he has his eye on only the White House, which is a shame, but anyway. Trump also railed against social media giants censoring conservative voices and singled out Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg for sucking up to him when he was president before banning him from the platform for 2 years. As for the whole Trump social media censorship, dude, Trump, I love you. I really, really do. But you had 2 years. Your platform, you've been banned from those platforms. You were the White House. You were the president. And you could have done something about that, but you didn't. For years, we were screaming about the online censorship, and you didn't do anything about it. For 2 years, you had the House, the Senate, and the White House. And you didn't do anything about it. If you want to blame anybody for what happened to you on Twitter, you're the person that needs to be blamed for that. You had all the power under the United States of America's God's green earth, and you didn't do it. So, yeah. Zuckerberg would come to the White House and have dinner with me. He couldn't have been nicer. Sir, you're number one. Congrats, you're number one on Facebook. All this crap, Trump recalled. It's amazing, actually, when you think about it. He said that about face in banning him. There are bad people. There are dangerous people. It's got to be stopped because our country is in danger, Trump said of censoring big tech. And they will be stopped eventually. He predicted the radical left crazy people destroying our country. Who are they to tell us what ideology should be talked about? He asked, calling the companies a disgrace to our country that have left people in this country very, very angry. And not only you in your country, dude, everywhere. I'm angry about it. I know I'm in Australia. We don't have free speech anymore, he added. The former president also went after another form of tech called Bitcoin, calling Bitcoin a scam. I want the dollar to be the currency of the world, he said, part of this Make America Great Again slogan. I have questions about Bitcoin. I have big questions about Bitcoin. My concern with Bitcoin is when you get the New World Order literally advertising it. And I can tell you now, if you want any proof that Bitcoin is possibly New World Order-ish, look at Jack. The very guy who is censoring people on Twitter literally has the Bitcoin in his bio. He's the one who allegedly has a Bitcoin tat. I don't know if that's true or not, on his neck or whatever. But at the end of the day, if you think Bitcoin is the anti-establishment, I got news for you. You know, Jack, the guy that's censoring everybody on Twitter, is literally advertising Bitcoin. Now, he might be just advertising it because he owns it and he wants to make more money. Maybe. I wouldn't buy into it. And I think they're going to ban it sooner rather than later anyway. But regardless, right? So this is the story that is coming out. Now, at the end of the day, people are going around and they are saying... Let me see if I can find my post. Tweets and replies. Here. Right. So, it's unconstitutional, no. Can't have a president from the same state. Now, when I first looked this up, I thought this was true. But it actually ends up, it's not really true. It's sort of true. So, president and vice president can't be from the same state. Now, this is Political Fact is saying this, okay? Can the president and the vice president be from the same state? The link between Jeb Bush and Marco Rubio talking about the Bush-Rubio ticket in 2016, but is it even possible? Now, this is before Trump won the election, obviously. The day after Rubio announced he was running for president, Liberal MSNBC host Lawrence O'Donnell was already looking ahead to what happens if Rubio's campaign falls short. Marco Rubio looks like one of the best possible vice president candidates in the Republican field, O'Donnell said on his show, April 14th, 2015. But the one person who can't choose him is Jeb Bush, because the president and the vice president can't be from the same state. Now that's Lawrence O'Donnell saying that, right? So, is it true? Right, there it is there. The answer is no. Neither the Constitution nor the Electoral College prevents Bush from picking a fellow Floridian, which is the same with Trump, in any candidate or choosing as a running mate from the same state. It just might make things tricky. What does the Constitution have to say about it? While registered voters select their preferred candidate for president, the actual electing of the president and vice president is in the hands of the Electoral College. There are 538 electors representing the 50 states and the District of Columbia. Candidates need a majority of 270 to win. But those electors cast a separate vote for president and vice president. But that wasn't always the case. So we'll go down here. So there's one caveat. Electoral college voters, called electors, could not cast both the vote for the two people from their home state. An electoral college member from Maryland can't cast his vote for the candidates of Maryland. Electors from many other states could still vote for two Maryland representatives, just not the elector from Maryland. Right? So what does this all mean? Let's use the Bush-Rubio hypothetical. Bush could choose Rubio to be his running mate, and if the two won, Florida's 29 electors could vote to make Bush president, but not to make Rubio vice president or vice versa. If Bush and Rubio started with 299 electoral votes or more, that wouldn't matter and Rubio could still be vice president. But if the electors were close, things could get complicated. So, for example, you need 270 votes to become the president, right? This is what we're talking about with Biden, for example. Now, at the end of the day, if you're using those 29 votes for Florida, then at the end of the day, they can't go for Trump and DeSantis, right? Because of the fact that they're from the same state. But at the end of the day, what those votes can do is they can put those votes towards Trump, and then the other states can then vote for DeSantis for vice president. That's my understanding of it. And if you've got, obviously, if you take 299, you take 29 votes, you're dropping it down to 270, that's the vote that Marco Rubio would need for vice president. So at the end of the day, he would still win as vice president because he has more than 270 votes. And obviously Trump would win because he'd have those 29 votes from Florida as well as the votes from the other state. So technically, if there's 299 votes or more, it's good. It's good to go. If it's less than 299 votes, that's when things would get complicated. But here's a question. Trump maybe changes his home address to New York. At the moment, I believe it's listed as Mar-a-Lago as his home address. Maybe he moves into the New York penthouse. Maybe he lives there for a few years before the 24 election. Maybe after the midterms, he moves to New York. Or New Carolina, New Carolina? Whatever it may be. So at the end of the day, there's always options around this anyway. I would have to check how long they would have to reside at address before they can switch them. But at the end of the day, I would imagine it's probably a year, 2 years, whatever it may be. So that would be fine. I think it's about 6 months. So as long as it was more than that, there wouldn't be a problem. But even if he doesn't switch the address and they both are from Florida, then at the end of the day, as long as they got more than 299 votes, this doesn't matter. This really doesn't matter. It would actually they would still be fine. So, yeah, and that's what obviously I turned around and I actually said here, where's my post? Oh, wow, this is interesting. You actually have to click on more replies to see mine. Wow. Isn't that interesting? Alright, but yeah, apart from that, guys, let us know what your thoughts are in that comment section below. Just the one video for the day, guys. I'm still, I've got the twitchy eyes, so I'm still trying to keep my stress levels down a little bit. Let us know what your thoughts are in that comment section below. Obviously, at the end of the day, if this video has been helpful, please smack that like button. If you're new to the channel, welcome and subscribe. Apart from that, guys, obviously this video has been helpful. Do your thing. Please feel free to share it on social media. Everybody, let everybody know I am back like a vertebrae. And apart from that, guys, we will see you in the next demonetized video from YouTube. Have a great night and enjoy.